Hey friends, what's going on, and welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. And welcome back, willkommen, bienvenue, and all the other languages. Back to Chelsea news for your daily updates. Every single ruddy day, mate, I'm here for you. I really am. To bring you the news and my opinions, but always, more importantly, asking for yours. Down in the comment section, the community. I feel like we need to move the Chelsea shirts behind me. Hold, please. That'll do. Just get the old Fly Emirates out in front. Yeah, man. Today we're discussing all sorts. How Chelsea got all that dinero for Noni Madueke. I'm going to use a X account aggregation for a couple of things here. That is at the Blue Dodger on X. Just to give me a couple of things. But Javi Simmons, versatile midfielder slash attacker, being linked ever more increasingly so to the Chelsea. Hey, that's us, and we'll find out how much for. Of course, we are a little bit light as well. Javi Simmons, a player that can play predominantly as an attacking midfielder, but also on the flanks. And remember now, in this brave new dawn of Club World Cup champions del mundo, champion du monde, champions of the world, we are Chelsea, the best team in the world. It's official, we've got a gold badge. Yeah, man, a brave new dawn where Maresca is trying new tactics, where he's being very, very versatile in his tactical approaches depending on the opposition, but also in-game positional versatility seemingly is the key, at least in certain games, especially against, I suppose, the low blocks, of which we will meet many in this upcoming season. Javi Simmons. We'll talk about it a little bit as well. Guys, a little bit of housework, early doors. Thank you for joining me. As always, very, very grateful for the support here on the channel. Why not jump aboard the good ship Jan? Football Therapy SS. Choo-choo. Yeah, man. Like, I am very happy to have you. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Let's get into this. Alright. Let me just quickly pull something up. Okay, just quickly on Noni Madueke, we got good money for him. The Athletic reported, did a bit more of a long read on the deal itself. Of course, he has now been announced as an Arsenal player. Didn't say anything about Arsenal being the biggest club in London because he's already confirmed that about Chelsea when he signed for Chelsea. Chelsea apparently ran a comparison of Noni Madueke's statistics against the likes of Kudus, who's gone for a lot of money, Alanga, and Burmo, who Man United are paying 71 million pounds for, which reflected well on Madueke. They used this data to justify an asking price in the region of 60 million pounds in negotiations of Arsenal. Now, he didn't necessarily go for 60 million pounds, but Chelsea used this data pitch to justify a transfer fee worth 60 million. I don't think Noni Madueke is worth, to be honest, most of these, man, I don't think are worth their money they're going for. Noni's a frustrating player, of course. We'll look at, we're actually going to use some of his stats in a moment to compare to Javi Simmons, a sort of a player in, player out sort of thing. But yeah, so Arsenal paid that much money for him. It's good value for Chelsea. 29 million pounds, 33 million euros, so 29 million pounds to 52 million pounds, whatever it is. Huge profit for Chelsea. Chelsea using the data yet again. Of course, the likes of Arteta going, yeah, he's going to be really, really good. We will see. We will see. I'm very intrigued to see if they deploy him on the left wing as a long-term solution. Right, Alfie Gilchrist could be off. I mean, almost certainly is off. We would expect that. £5 million. Lots of championship clubs looking at him. Pure profit. We wish him all the best. And we're going to jump into Javi Simmons in just a moment. But there are developments elsewhere as well. Malo is being looked at by Bayern Munich. That's right, Bayern München. So saith Christian Falk of Sport Bild. The Bavarian club have Malo as one of their prime targets. Maybe they're just going for French Chelsea players. Of course, we know and kind of, I suppose, hope they're going to come back in a big way for Nkunku. As much as many of you would have your hearts won back by Nkunku's recent, good performances, that late goal against Benfica and, getting his head down and being one of the boys. If you watch my content, and if you've watched my content for years, you will know I'm a huge fan of Nkunku as a footballer. But despite all that, I'm absolutely done with him as a Chelsea player. Just, it's a profiling thing more than anything else. Chelsea need to cash in my opinion. I won't be fuming if he somehow ends up staying, because we'll have a really good footballer. But provided it would be mandatory he has a good attitude, and I guess I'll be just hopeful we find a way to make him work. I just feel like his time here is done. I feel like his time here never really started. But maybe it's just can be like a nice little ending. Do you know what I mean? With what happened at the Club World Cup and that goal, and getting minutes, significant minutes in a tournament where he became a world champion and got a medal. So I'm hoping we can get a deal done for him to preferably Bayern Munich, and I'm hoping now, and this is a little twist, we absolutely don't sell Malo Gusto. Now, after Malo's debut season under Pochettino, many Chelsea fans are going, damn, we got the best two right-backs in the league, Reece James and Malo Gusto, or at least the best right-back in the league. You can make a strong case for that, Reece James, when he's playing right-back, and definitely the best deputy right-back in the league in Malo Gusto. Looks incredible flying up and down the right flank, doing good one-on-one defending, very athletic, really good at getting forward, going outside his man, and getting assists. He gets assists consistently when playing that role. He's yet to score a goal for Chelsea, which is pretty funny. He takes, I feel like he just needs to score the goal and he'll stop making poor decisions and poor finishes and just calm down. That's usually the case. But now, with this new, sort of altered tactics with Enzo Maresca, I really think we need to keep Malo Gusto, because if he's going to deploy a conventional, width holding right back in certain games and tactics and game plans, like we did in the Club World Cup final, Malo Gusto is invaluable. We got him for very, very cheap as a 19-year-old. His value would have skyrocketed. Clubs like Bayern, should we sell him, which I hope we don't, it would be a big profit. Like we say with every player at Chelsea, everyone's for sale apart from a very small group of untouchables, of which Malo Gusto isn't one. So, a big, big transfer offer from Bayern could force Chelsea to sell him. Not force, but, we could see him being sold. I don't want to sell Malo Gusto. I feel like if we're not going to always invert fullbacks and, if we're not always necessarily going to do box midfields and we're going to employ flying wingbacks, we can, in terms of where not only him being good, he's trending in the right direction. He's got a high ceiling. If Maresca is going to continue with these new tactics, don't sell Malo Gusto. Which is funny because 6 months ago, everyone was like, yeah, get him gone. It's football. It's football, baby! That's how people feel. Right, Fabrizio Romano giving a bit more detail on Nico Jackson. So again, Chelsea are not desperate to sell him. And why would they be? Chelsea have been and remain high on Nico Jackson. I think there's disappointment around the red cards. Probably less of he's a young player and he's just, because he's not anymore. How old's he? He's 24? Is he 24, Nicholas Jackson, or is he 23 still? Well, let's double check that before I start talking about it. He's 24 now. He's just turned 24 under a month ago. So yeah, he's young, but you can't be like, oh, he's that young. He's got loads of seasons of experience now at the top flight in multiple different countries. He's a, starter and star for Senegal. You can't be doing this stuff anymore, mate. So we're not desperate to sell him. You could see, I just watched the Tifo football analysis of Chelsea's season moving forward and why we report last season. Of course, it coincided with the absence of Jackson, not because he was scoring goals, but how he was facilitating the attack. Maresca loves him, maybe more so before the red cards. But you know what I mean? So Chelsea recognise he's good, and in the same way, Noni Madueke, they could be like, look at Jackson, look at us with him last season, look at us without him last season. Double digits for goals in the Premier League, non-penalty goals in both his 2 seasons, yeah. Including 14 in his first, a few assists, good link up with Cole Palmer, amazing running stats for 90 minutes. This guy is worth money, We nearly doubled our money on Noni Madueke. We would absolutely double our money on Nicholas Jackson. I'm telling you that now for free, because he also cost 33 million euros, 29 million pounds, and we will get at least £60 million for him, surely. So doubling our money would be, quick maths, £58 million. So we'd get double, I think. Yeah, we're not desperate to sell him, but we will say, yeah, you can go. If someone comes in and puts the money on the table, we will sell him. Manchester United are monitoring the situation. I don't know why I'm smiling. He makes them better. I did a video on it on the second channel. Oh! Perfect opportunity to plug the second channel. Football Yannick. 18.7 thousand subscribers. Daily content on there about other footballing stories. Please do go show your sweet love and support on my second YouTube channel, Football Yannick. Yeah, I did a video on there about how Nico makes them better. Of course, now they've got the likes of Cunha and Burmo, who, by the way, they paid £135 million for a Wolves and Brentford player, who are amazing players, but, you know, neither of them will have resale ability. They're both between 25 and 30. And Burmo's had 2 seasons in his English career where he scored over 10 goals, once in the Championship and last season. But they are good. They're oven-ready players. Those two with Bruno Fernandes. You put Nico Jackson in front of them. Yeah, he'll frustrate at times, but he's such a good facilitator and combinational player. He'll make them better. So, yeah, you know, if we make £60 million by selling Jackson to United, it's good. But, you know, I think Noni Madueke is good. He makes Arsenal better. I think Nicholas Jackson is good. He makes United better. But I don't think... I think 100... whatever... 5, 10 million, 50 million, whatever it would be for those two players, is too good to deny when neither of them are starting for Chelsea right now, and we've got other young, exciting players coming through. You know? Right, Javi Simmons, which is the big story, bro. Ben Jacobs, journalist of multiple different publications, has said Javi Simmons is keen on a move to the Premier League. So it says 56 million plus add-ons. So what can we assume that is? 60 million quid plus? Well, they'll be looking at this freaking, you know, circus in the Premier League where all these sort of like fairly good players are going for 50, 60 million quid, and they'll be like, what? He understood, that's not the understood figure for Leipzig. He's on Arsenal and Chelsea's radar. Chelsea are looking to sign another attacker. Especially now Madueke is gone. We really only got Gittins on the left. If Tyreek George stays, he can deputise. I know technically Neto can play our position there. But we're sure. Now, Javi Simmons, personally, for me, isn't the obvious solution. I feel like we'll need another chalk on your boots touchline winger, not an inside attacking midfielder like Javi Simmons. But, I'll say the exact same thing as I've been saying about Morgan Rogers. I defer to the gaffer. I have full trust in Enzo Maresca. I think Maresca's improved and impressed. And he is, despite not being like a young coach, I think he's mid-40s, he's still relatively green and developing, you know, and he doesn't seem to be stubborn. So I'm all on board on Maresca. I'm high on Maresca. And if he says, right, this guy's what we need right now, give the man what he wants. So quickly, let's look at some stuff on Javi Simmons. This is his strengths on FB Ref, but this is versus wingers and attacking midfielders. And actually, he's surprisingly functional. Like he can play deeper than you think in terms of he's not just a sort of floaty, diminutive attacker. He can actually play really well as a good functional player. So this is versus attacking midfielders, yeah. So attacking midfielders and wingers, they're attacking players. He's pretty strong in things like fouls drawn, through balls, which is great because we got loads of interchanging player in the final third. Goal creating actions that lead to a shot. Touches in the middle third, which shows you that he'll be in the engine room quite a lot. Passes into the penalty area. Lots of passes. Strong XG in goals, non-penalty goals. So he's good, but if you put him, because he does play a functional role sometimes, if you put him against midfielders, obviously his strengths are much stronger, and these will be all attacking. Goals and assists, 0.568, sorry. Let's say 0.6 goal involvements per 90. That's strong. Top 1% outlooks. He's in the top 1% for so many stuff here. But this is obviously versus midfielders, which might put him against more defensive midfielders and functional midfielders. But he is a guy who can do lots of crazy stuff. But to be fair, he's more attacking. So this would probably be more fair versus attacking midfielders and wingers. He can play in an attacking midfield. He also can play on the wings. Let's have a look then. He's not the same as Noni Madueke, but this is them last season. Where Noni jumps out massively here is good because he gets high XG and takes a lot of shots. But Noni massively underperformed his expected goals last season. So he gets over half an expected goal per game. And he does 0.3 in actual goals. That's 0.21 underperformance per 90 from Noni Madueke. Whereas Javi Simmons massively outperforms his goals per 90. Much better finisher. And he's better at creativity, so key passes, expected assists per 90, expected assists per 90, and I wonder if he has got better defensive stats as well. I imagine he does. Let me just think of someone else we could compare Javi Simmons to. I was thinking of like more central attacking midfielders that Chelsea have, like freaking Dewsbury, Haaland and Kunku, who we might be looking to replace, but that's a bit unfair because you want to sort of have the bar higher. Let's just do Enzo Fernandez because he's sort of been playing in that pocket. He's had a great season. Enzo Fernandez has created the 4th most chances. Look at key passes there. So there you go. Much more goals than Enzo Fernandez if he's going to be playing in that pocket. Left wing, we could try Neto as well, I suppose. Pedro Neto, Chelsea. There you go, Javi Simmons, much more of a goal scorer. Yeah, to be honest, the more I look at it, the more exciting it makes me feel. Of course, the elephant in the room here is Javi Simmons is an attacker from RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. Timo Werner, Christopher Nkunku, etc., etc., etc. I get it. I get the fear. And I have it too. But he does look like a good player. The thing is, I'm not kind of like relying on him here to be like the solution to all our problems. And with that, like I said, if we've got the money to spend, if we make the sales first, we've got good money from Madueke. I imagine we'll make lots of more sales. I mean, so far, we've made loads of money already. If you look at the Club World Cup with like Petrovic 25 million, Noni 52 million, Bashir Humphreys 12 million, Kepa 5 million, and this is just getting started. Loads of revenue's been generated, loads more will be generated, and if they want another attacker in there, and 60 million Javi Simmons makes Maresca's Chelsea a lot better, and he's like, yeah, I've looked at the data, I've looked at the videos, he's what I need for the new tactics to take us to the next level. Bring him in. That's what I say. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Please do leave them down in the comments section below. I'm very grateful as always for your continued support here on the channel. If you made it to the end of the video, it means you probably like the content, and therefore you might like the content on the second channel, Football Yannick, where there is also daily uploads. Just search Football Yannick on YouTube. My face is in the thumbnails, so you can't miss it. Alright mate, take care, enjoy the football, peace.